Hey guys, it's Kitana. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am actually very excited because we will be reviewing the S22 Ultra versus the S21 Ultra. So I will definitely be giving you guys the specs on each one. There is a lot of things I have to say between both phones. Now I do want to put in a quick disclaimer, and that is that I will also be giving my opinions on both phones throughout the video as well. So don't come at me. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started and see the comparison between the S22 Ultra and the S21 Ultra and see which one wins at the end. Okay, so basically I do want to start off with the unboxing of the S22 Ultra and the S21 Ultra. Some people might think that it's very unnecessary. I feel like every person just wants to see what comes inside the box when they do receive their devices. So of course, starting off with the S22 Ultra, you do have your S22 Ultra box. As you can see, it has a beautiful design. Now, of course, inside the S22 Ultra box, you do have your S22 Ultra phone beautifully displayed on there. And of course, I like to call it, you do have your Samsung mini box that include instructions about the phone and your terms and conditions. And of course, you do also have your USB Type-C charging cable. And on the back, you do have your SIM card tool. Now, moving on to the S21 Ultra, you do have your S21 Ultra box. As you can see, it is a different design from the S22 Ultra. Now, on the inside of the box, you do have your S21 Ultra phone, and you also have your Samsung mini box with, again, different types of instructions for the S21 Ultra, your terms and conditions, and again, your USB Type-C charging cable. And on the back of the box, you do have your SIM card tool. Now, moving on to the display of both phones, you do have the S22 Ultra as a 6.8-inch Infinity O Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED 2X display. The dimensions on the S22 Ultra are 77.9 by 163.3 by 8.9 millimeters. Now, on the other hand, the S21 Ultra is 6.8 Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED 2X display. And again, I really love the display overall on the S21 Ultra. And the dimensions on the S21 Ultra is 75.6 by 165.1 by 8.9 millimeters. Overall, I do believe that the S22 Ultra is just a little bit heavier, but it's not a major difference in the hand. But as far as looking at both devices and their dimensions and their displays, I personally love the S21 Ultra so much better than the S22 Ultra. And the reason is being because, of course, the S22 Ultra does have more of a boxy feel to it. Unlike the S21 Ultra, it is actually round corners. And I feel like the S21 Ultra does feel more comfortable in the hand. And guys, I have big hands. Now, of course, with that being said, the S22 Ultra is actually 2.98 inches wider than the S21 Ultra, but of course that is to accommodate the S Pen that is included in the S22 Ultra. Now, if you guys see me looking a lot this way, it is because I do have my notes, because as you can already tell, there's a lot of information, a lot of numbers that are hard to remember. Okay, so now moving on to the bottom of each device. On the S22 Ultra, you do have your S Pen slot on the left, but of course that is not a huge major problem, but I'm just not sure why Samsung did that overall. You do have your one speaker, which of course is powered by 8kg, so the speakers are pretty loud. You do have your USB Type-C charging port and your SIM card slot. So again, there's not really that much of a difference. Of course, that the S22 Ultra does have a S Pen included. Now, moving on to the S21 Ultra, all the different components on the bottom of their phone are literally switched. And as you can see here, there is no S Pen on the S21 Ultra. You do have a SIM card slot on the left. You do have your USB Type-C charging port. And of course, you do have your one speaker on the right that is also powered by 8kg. Now, another important thing I do want to talk about is the display colors that both devices do come in. So the S22 Ultra does have exclusive and non-exclusive colors. So the non-exclusive colors would be available to you in Phantom Black, Phantom White, Burgundy, and Green. Now, going to the exclusive colors, you do have available to you Graphite, Red, and sky blue. And with the S21 Ultra, you are also offered exclusive and also non-exclusive colors. So the non-exclusive colors that are offered to you on the S21 Ultra are Phantom Black and Phantom White. Those are literally the only colors on the S21 Ultra, but of course the exclusive colors are Phantom Titanium, Phantom Navy, and Phantom Brown. Of course, the S22 Ultra is gonna have more color displays for you available, but of course if that's not really important to you, because at the end of the day you are gonna be putting cases on this phone, unless you're gonna get a clear case to show off that color, then I really don't see the importance of that. But yes, the S22 Ultra does have more colors than the S21 Ultra. Now moving on to pricing on both devices, the S22 Ultra starting price was at about $1,300 to $1,500. Correct me if I am wrong on that, because I specifically remember when this phone was gonna come out, a lot of people were actually talking about on how expensive it was literally going to be. But believe it or not, Samsung has actually been giving out a lot of really good deals with their phones, especially with the S22 Ultra, up to the point where you can get at least $1,000 off with an eligible trade-in. Now, when it comes to the pricing on the S21 Ultra, I do specifically remember that this phone was about $1,300 or $1,200. But of course, Samsung did decrease the prices on this phone because of course this phone is already a year old in the market. So you will definitely get a discount on this phone right now. So in comparison with prices on both phones, of course the S21 Ultra is the cheapest way to go, especially if you are trying to save money. Girl, wouldn't you want to save some money? Because I know I do. Now moving on to storage on both devices, and starting off with the S22 Ultra, you can actually purchase the S22 Ultra from 128 gigabytes to 1 terabyte, which I think it's really cool that Samsung did include the 1 terabyte storage. So for the S22 Ultra, you can get the 128 through 512 gigabytes of storage for the non-exclusive colors, and the 1 terabyte is only available for exclusive colors. Now on the S22 Ultra, you can actually purchase the memory from 128 gigabytes to 512. There is no 1 terabyte available for the S21 Ultra, unfortunately. Now, of course, the 128 to 256 gigabytes are for non-exclusive colors, but the 512 gigabytes is available for exclusive colors. Now, when it comes to also purchasing the RAM on your devices, the S22 Ultra's RAM does vary depending on the storage you do purchase. So if you do get the 128 gigabytes on the S22 Ultra, you will actually get 8 gigs of RAM. But if you do purchase the 256 to 1 terabyte of storage, you will actually get 12 gigs of RAM. That's actually kind of a downgrade, because on the S21 Ultra, if you do purchase the 128 to 256 gigabytes of memory, you will actually get 12 gigs of RAM. And if you do get the 512 gigabytes, you will actually get 16 gigs of RAM. So in this case, the S21 Ultra does win when it comes to RAM. And this is the first time ever that I actually don't have specific prices for each internal memory storage like I've always done in my videos, because they're always constantly changing ever since the S22 Ultra came out. But again, the higher you do go on storage and RAM, the more expensive the devices will be. Now moving on to the display brightness on both devices, and as far on the S22 Ultra, the display brightness is actually brighter outdoors on a sunny day thanks to the vision booster added onto their dynamic display. So the S22 Ultra will definitely be brighter at about 1750 nits, but the S21 Ultra is bright outdoors at about 1500 nits. But of course, the S21 Ultra does not include vision booster. So I would definitely say that the S22 Ultra does take the stand on the display brightness. Now, according to Samsung, they did make another improvement on the dynamic display on the S22 Ultra, and that is scrolling on the S22 Ultra is much smoother, and it can actually go from 1 to 120 hertz. But at the same time, to me, that is not an improvement at all, because on the S21 Ultra, the scrolling as well is from 1 to 120 hertz. Many people are saying that the S21 Ultra is actually 10 to 120 hertz, but as I'm scrolling through both phones, I honestly do not see a difference. Now, as far as the processor on both devices, the S22 Ultra's processor is now being run on Snapdragon Snapdragon 8th Gen 1, as on the other hand, the S21 Ultra is still running on Snapdragon 888. So I think that that is a huge difference, and I definitely say that the S22 Ultra does win on this one because the two different types of processors I did mention are octa-core processors, and that consists of high performance with multitasking, and also it definitely does improve with gaming performance. Now when it comes to the durability on the S22 Ultra and the S21 Ultra, on both devices, Samsung still keeps the phone under the Armor aluminum frame. And let me just tell you guys that I absolutely love that 100% on both devices. I believe it's a beautiful display on the back. Now, as far as the durability on the front of both devices, the S22 Ultra does have Gorilla Glass Victus Plus. Unlike the S21 Ultra, they just have Gorilla Glass Victus. But I honestly think that the S22 Ultra will definitely hold up more. As Samsung said, it is the strongest Gorilla Glass they've ever put on a device. So I really hope that's true. I do not do drop tests on this channel, and I don't think I ever will because the anxiety just gets at a really high point. Only if past Kitana knew exactly what kind of anxiety she was gonna face later on after she did finish talking in her video and start filming segments for this video. Oh! He needs some milk! I cracked it. So as you guys can see, I do have a scratch on the lens, and I also do have a mini crack on the top corner. So this is why I didn't like that Samsung actually put more exposure on the cameras. But overall, I feel like the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus was perfect because there was nothing in the front. But overall, the aluminum frame is the one that actually got damaged. Okay, so hi, this is where obviously you are seeing this part of the video, and I'm currently editing this video, and I definitely wanted to let you guys know what the heck happened. I dropped it. Well, technically I didn't. I dropped it. But I was actually recording segments to this video. I was recording the displays. I was recording the performance of both phones. I'm actually recording on the S21 Ultra because my camera battery died. I had this S22 Ultra placed on a chair, and I guess I just didn't pay attention to how I actually placed it on the chair. And you know what the funny thing is, that I was like, I'm not doing drop tests on this channel, but then God was like, psych. This was actually from a low range. I would say that the back is not as strong as the front because the phone did actually fall front and then it went back. Second, I did want to talk about this because I did want to say how good Samsung support is. I contacted support. I was kind of freaking out. They finally got back to me. I believe it was 2 days ago, and they told me that everything is okay. I will be actually getting my full refund back. And I was like, again, I just wanted to explain my story because if you have a device that, you know, even if it's a watch, if it's a phone, if it's a tablet, if it's a laptop from Samsung, you can definitely return it. I recommend talking to support first. You will also get an email when they have successfully received it. They'll either give you a call or email you on what is going to happen. Of course, if you do disagree with some certain things, you can definitely contact them and they will work something out with you. So thank you so much, Samsung. I really do appreciate it, especially with your support. Anyways, enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Go back to present Kitana. So when it comes to software, the S22 Ultra is running on Android 12 and also on One UI 4.1, and the S21 Ultra is also running on Android 12. Now before, the S21 Ultra was actually running on One UI 4.0. Recently, I actually got an update to upgrade the S21 Ultra's features, and now it is running on One UI 4.1 as well. So there is literally no difference in software at all. Literally both have the same type of wedges, the same type of designs. Now, as far as lock screen security, both phones do have an ultrasonic fingerprint scanner and also do have face recognition features. Both devices do have the same Qualcomm 3D Sonic Sensor Gen 2 installed, so there is no difference there at all. But of course, when I was actually testing out both fingerprint scanners at the same time, I did actually see that on the S22 Ultra, my fingerprint was actually detected faster than the S21 Ultra, but of course, the S21 Ultra still does a great job. Now moving on to the cameras on both phones, both the S22 and the S21 Ultra have a 40 megapixel front-facing selfie camera, so there is no different on numbers, but I can definitely tell when taking pictures there is a difference because Samsung did mention that they did enhance their detail enhancement and also that the contrast would be so much better and brightnesses would be more controlled, and of course stabilization would improve. Now when the S22 Ultra came out with a specific feature, I was so close to upgrading to the S22 Ultra, but that feature is called auto framing. Now what auto framing is that it will literally detect your movement when you are recording a video or overall when you are in a video chat on a specific meeting or overall with a friend. You can definitely see that the phone lens will definitely follow your motion, so you don't have to literally go to the phone every time and move your phone to a specific angle when the phone will definitely do that for you. But of course, when Samsung did say this feature was gonna come out on the S21 Ultra, I was actually very happy because I definitely love my S21 Ultra and I just didn't want to get rid of it just because of that feature. So thanks to that update that I did have before, I already do have auto framing on the S21, and from the looks of it, the S21 also does a really good job with that auto framing feature. And another one of my favorite features on the Samsung camera is called Director's View. Director's View has always been around ever since the S21 Ultra, and that is where you can record the front-facing camera including the back cameras. So if you are making a YouTube video or overall if you're just making a fun video of you explaining something or overall you just want to take a video of your reaction while recording something in the back, then that is definitely going to help because you have two different types of angles and every type of angle has 3 different types of zooms. But overall on the S21 Ultra and S22 Ultra, the feature is literally the same and it works great. So both cameras do have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 108 megapixel ultra wide camera, 10 megapixel 2 telephoto cameras, and of course both phones do have 100x zoom. So this is basically voice over Maya, but I just want to let you guys know, as you guys do see the difference on both the S22 Ultra and the S21 Ultra photos. Of course the S22 Ultra does have a bit more of detailed enhancement, but both phones still do a really good job. So honestly, I really don't see a major difference, but of course if you guys take a look at these S21 photos, you can really see how good the camera is still to this day. So trust me when I say, guys, the S21 Ultra will still get you really nice photos. Moving on to Knightography, if you guys did see my previous video on the S22 Ultra review, I did go ahead and explain a bit more on how Samsung uses their Knightography mode, but of course the Knightography has been around ever since the S21 Ultra. It is said that the S22 Ultra has actually had a bit more of brightness when it comes to Knightography mode and a bit more of stabilization, but also on the S21 Ultra, they do have really nice photo taking as well on their Knightography mode. So I actually did come across this photo and I decided to put it in the video. 1, because it was taken with the front camera in Knightography mode, and 2, we look freaking sexy. Now moving on to the battery life on both devices, both the S22 and S21 Ultra do have a 5000 milliamp size battery, although the S22 Ultra does support 45 watt charging, so it can definitely charge the phone all the way up to 100%, approximately about 50 minutes. But of course on the other hand, the S21 Ultra does support 25 watt charging, which will definitely charge the phone at about an hour and 5 minutes. So of course when it comes to minutes when the phone will be at 100%, it's honestly not that much of a difference. The battery is the same, of course the watts are just different, but not by a huge number. Now both phones do support wireless charging and both phones do have wireless power share. And it is said that both phones should last you all day on a single charge, but me personally, I don't believe that. It really just depends on how much you use the phone, either heavy usage or light usage per day. Even Samsung says that on their website. And lastly, we are going to be talking about the differences on the S Pen. And you might be thinking, Maya, the S21 Ultra doesn't even have a stylus or an S Pen. You are right about that, but I do have some things to say. Now, if we look at the S22 Ultra, there is an S Pen included inside the phone. So you wouldn't need to actually purchase an additional case that actually holds the S Pen on the side, or overall purchasing an S Pen as well. Now, on the other hand, the S21 Ultra does not come with a stylus within its phone. So you would have to purchase a bulky case that actually holds the S Pen on the side. And of course, you would need to buy an S Pen. So I do use the S Pen from my Tab S7, and I even use the S22 Ultra's S Pen, and it actually works on the S21 Ultra. Now, on the other hand, unfortunately, the S22 Ultra is not compatible with any other S Pen other than itself, which actually is really disappointing, but at the same time, I kind of get it, because you already have an S Pen. Why would you need to buy another one, or why would you need it to be compatible with others when you have the one that it's already included in? Now, as far as preciseness with the S Pens on both phones, it feels very realistic and there's no lagging on both phones. But if you are a person who often sketches or writes notes, the S22 Ultra does feel more precise, but the S21 Ultra still does a great job. Now, as far as S Pen features, both devices do have the same S Pen features because they are literally on the same Android and on the same updates. Me personally, I would go with the S21 Ultra because I hardly ever use the stylus. Now, when it comes to the S Pen features, I definitely say that the S22 Ultra has cool features on its camera, and that is where you have different types of motion gestures on the S22 camera, where you can definitely take pictures with the S Pen. If you do take selfies alone most of the time, I get you, but of course I can be that friend that can take really nice pictures of you. Or of course, if you just have a group of family and you have nobody else to take the picture for you, you can use the stylus to take pictures, to take video. So I think that's really cool about the S22 Ultra, but this has actually been around ever since, I believe, even the Note 10. I'm not sure about the Note 8, but the Note 10, if I specifically remember, does have this feature included as well. So there's not a major difference because this feature was already installed in previous models. But on the other hand, the S21 Ultra does not do that, unfortunately. Even though it's compatible with different S Pens, it is not within its device, so it is not connected for it to do those camera gestures. So of course, if you do decide to go with the S21 Ultra, but you do take a lot of selfies alone, I highly recommend investing in a mini Bluetooth phone remote. If you're more of an S Pen person, more of an artist on the phone, I honestly recommend upgrading to the S22 Ultra. Even though that you might be saving some really good prices, I just still wouldn't upgrade, to be honest. So I really hope that Samsung does do a really good job with their S23 series phones. I really hope that they make an Ultra by itself like the S21 Ultra, and a Note by itself just like previous Note generations. Okay guys, so that is literally the comparison between the S22 Ultra and the S21 Ultra. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any other questions on both phones, please feel free to contact me on my social medias, or also you can comment any comment in the description down below, and I will actually try my best to answer it to the best of my abilities. Of course, if you guys did like my background music was made by Music Studio Effects, so thank you so much to Music Studio Effects for all your amazing tunes. Thank you guys so much for all your support. More videos will be coming out soon on this channel, and overall guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day, evening, or night, whatever time of day you guys are watching this on. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.